This is not about extremes. This is about finding the truth. This is about standing in your truth and asking better questions. The quality of your life will be determined by the quality of questions you ask yourself on a daily basis. So ask great questions and you will get great answers. And another man that asks some incredibly great questions, he is phenomenal. It is Dr. Jamal Früster, and he is a healthcare professional, again, all the way from the US of A. And we want to say a big, big thank you to Dr. Jamal for joining us today. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing excellent, Andy. I'm doing excellent. Dr. Ben is like the perfect passing of the baton to me, so I'm already charged up. You already got the audience charged up. You just dropped some good quotes, so I'm ready to go, brother.
Awesome, my man. Awesome. Well, I'm going to leave you to the stage to blow some minds. Again, thank you for joining us. Take it away, my friend.
All right, you got it. So, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. Jamal Früster. I'm currently living in Tucson, Arizona, over in the United States. And Andy just dropped a very, very important nugget for y'all, and that is the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your questions. A layer for y'all to appreciate and a nugget. If y'all haven't seen the movie Arrival, y'all got to go see that movie. But one of my favorite quotes from it is, what a question is a request for information. I'll say it again. What a question is a request for information. So, dependent upon the quality of requests for information in your life will determine the quality of your life. And this question that I'd like to start off, this beautiful next 20 minutes we get to flow or so, is, where is your comfort zone located? I want y'all to think on this. Feel free to break out a journal if y'all already haven't. But I want to offer y'all in this moment, your comfort zone is the or in physical conduit form is your nervous system. And if you don't know what that is, that's your brain and your spinal cord. Dr. Ben Tapper, myself, you're going to hear from Dr. Stanton later on. We work with the subtle essence, the core of the human frame, the nervous system, which is quite literally your recording device and how you move through life. And what I want to offer y'all in the next 18 minutes or so is a little journey and a map, if you will, and some nuggets and some resources and some strategies and how to navigate outside the comfort zone. Because I'm sure y'all have heard many times before, life happens outside your comfort zone. We got to get outside our comfort zone. But a question I had growing up and something I would think about would be, well, how do I do that? And my journey throughout my life, if you will, has been a expression of uncomfortability. Like I didn't have any other choice but to be uncomfortable. I'm black and I'm Peruvian. I grew up in a right next to a racist town in a suburb called East Hartford, Connecticut, next to Glastonbury, Connecticut. I couldn't speak Spanish. I wasn't black enough for my people in from the various spaces and places in East Hartford. They called me a white boy. I was too different from my white friends, and I didn't speak much of any Spanish without an accent, if you will. So I was in this disidentity syndrome, or what I think a lot of people are experiencing right now, that may be biracial or may be mixed or may just be confused in so many different things in lives because they may have been placed in boxes all of their lives or labels or whatever it may be. But coming from this sense, I want to offer to y'all, I've been there, to not know who you are, the depression that comes from it, the anxiety that comes with that, the not knowing of self. And I'll tell you this right now, my profession as chiropractors, we are in the midst of this pandemic, if you will, due to the lack of the Dr. Ben Tappers. See, because I graduated just a few months ago, if you will, back in March, and Dr. Ben Tapper lit a fire underneath me to get out in the world and start speaking truth immediately, because the last few decades we have been missing that from people that are living this natural, organic based life. And I want to offer to y'all in this moment, you are designed to heal. You're designed to heal. Even without your conscious brain, your body is still efforting to heal you every single moment. I'm sure Dr. Ben lit it up already, but when you cut your finger, you don't have to command your finger, I want you to heal. Finger, I want you to send some platelets to this. That way the coagulation can happen, all these things. No, your body is made of this beautiful, beautiful intelligence. And it doesn't require your conscious mind. However, if you can leverage your conscious mind to get 10% outside of your comfort zone each and every single day, you are going to experience massive amounts of growth. See, because normally I have this nice little picture, this map that I could show y'all in what it means to explore getting outside your comfort zone, if you will. Maybe there'll be an opportunity for that later on. But I want y'all to just picture this in your mind right now. There's about 8 domains of life. Feel free to write these down. I want you all to think about these 8 domains of life and how you can expand in these 8 different domains of life each and every single day, and how you will incur life-changing potential because of it. Physical health or well-being, mental or intellectual health or well-being, spiritual well-being, financial, physical environment, relationship, fun and adventure, and professional. I got this blueprint of navigating these 8 domains of life from Joel Brown. Y'all got to follow him, by the way. And being able to think in these different realms, you can then effort to break out of this 10%, because if you go outside of your 10%, as I'm a chiropractic athlete, long short of things, I train with this beautiful culture called Kairos training culture. Dr. Brett Jones, my mentor, who I work with at the Source Chiropractic Tucson, for any of my people out in Arizona, come see us, has created this culture of chiropractors, of doctors, of human beings, effort and training to be sustainable physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And one of the principles of it is operating in our 10%, because if you go outside of your 10%, that's too much, baby. You might be really sore emotionally. If you're thinking in a relationship sense, that could be a disagreement. In health with your partner, that could be 10% outside of your comfort zone. And what I'm offering to you in this moment is, if you effort to get 10% outside of your comfort zone and come back and reflect and integrate, which, if y'all don't know what integration is, it is the permission or the allowance for your mind and your body to catch up to each other. Why is that important? Because if you give yourself the space to just keep doing, being, but you don't give yourself space, you don't give yourself an opportunity to let things come back together so you can reflect and you can learn and you can grow and you can adapt and you can let go of what's no longer serving you, can choose your path. Like, once more, again, how can I improve this? Those are just a few signs or evidence of life. And if you can celebrate this, and you can reflect upon this, and if you can see this for yourself, because you're your greatest teacher, the greatest and the only healer is the self-healer. Even if you do ingest medication, if you do, and if you need to, yes, and innately your body still has to figure out something to do with that. But you can leverage your mind once more to continue to effort to expand yourself so you can grow of things, because it is a skill of navigating uncomfortability. And take a moment to write down, just for 10 seconds. If you were more skilled at navigating uncomfortability, how would your life change? As these are uncomfortable times. But once more, I know for me, all I've been doing is training my whole life. There's 3 other steps in this map, and I'm going to go through them really quickly. There's a 10% outside your comfort zone, if you will, this nice little home. Beyond that is something that can be painful or traumatic. This can be potentially a breakup or an argument if you're in a relationship sense. This could be a financial investment that, just was outside of things. This could be, man, you ran a half marathon, and brother, you should have just ran a few miles. And the point of being able to navigate and find yourself wherever you may be is so that way you can make sure you're good and draw the lessons from it. PAIN, as an acronym, is pay attention inside now. And there's a lot of things outside of livid that are causing people a lot of pain, especially emotionally. However, you're a human being, not a human doing, a human being. There's universal principles that we study in chiropractic and the philosophy. One of my favorites is the chiropractic meaning to life. And the chiropractic meaning to life is the expression of intelligence through matter. Now, I'm not going to get philosophical on y'all, but I'm going to say it again. The expression of intelligence through matter. Just know that this body suit, this vehicle, this vessel, this temple, this divine instrument, all of the emotions that you may feel, you are built to feel. However, a lot of people in this day and age are either running away, they're numbing themselves, or they're just choosing not to feel it. And that's the third stage. When something so painful goes beyond what you thought you could even handle, you thought you could even endure. You just want to numb it, you want to run away from it, you're just like, ooh, I don't want to feel this. One of my nuggets for you, and I'm gonna watch my language just out of respect, but I'll let you get creative with what it can mean, is LTFI. Write it down. LTFI. And I'll just say, lean the freak in. But I'll let you get creative in what that F can actually stand for. Lean in. Because you are once more meant to experience all that you're able to experience. And whether you're religious, whether you're more spiritual, so I'll say God and or universe, it's not going to give you, life is not going to give you anything that you cannot handle. But I will say you're not supposed to handle it alone. And if you're willing to lean in, as uncomfortable as that conversation might be, as uncomfortable that breakup might be, whatever it may be, that you're still here, that there's still lessons to assimilate, that there is still wisdom, intelligence, knowledge. See, because your symptoms, whatever you might be experiencing in your body, is a symptom of you being out of alignment or out of harmony with nature. And part of the name of the game with all these three-letter organizations, FDA, CDC, they don't care about us in the US. And they make this environment super easy to be sick in because there's sugar, there's toxins, there's chemicals, there's all of this stuff that we have to overcome. But what I'm offering to you is this. Even if you want to numb it, not feel it, whatever, you don't have to feel it alone in that. As you can cultivate resources, one being community, one being relationships, that you can help yourself heal and get your needs met, because we weren't built to do this thing alone. That's why we're having this freedom rally. Ain't that right, Andy? Because there's people that are all across the world right now who are hurting at a soul level. So we need to summon ourselves internationally to bond together, to draw the nuggets, to draw inspiration from, to cultivate yourself so that way you can move through whatever it is that you are right now. That even if your spirits are low, your energy might be low, you do not have to stay there. And the last, or the most extreme measure of being outside of your comfort zone is disassociation. I'm a chiropractor, but I'm coming from a trauma-informed kind of sense. Y'all don't need to know my life story, but just know I come from being sexually abused when I was younger, when I was 9. And that warped my reality. And with disassociation, when a trauma, a stimulus, a pain is so intense to where people who are abused can float out or observe their body, because it's at the point you can have my body, but you will never have my soul. Those people that have come from that extreme, coming and have cultivated a spiritual strength that is beyond anything physical, beyond any medication can do anything about. And what is that? How do they heal? How do they come back? It's doing the work, not giving up, leaning in. Dr. Ben Tyler spoke on this already, which is another one of my nuggets. If you don't have the capacity, or you don't think you have the capacity to lean in, or it's too much, you got to cultivate your why a little bit more. Who are you doing this for? Why are you doing this? Because once more, I'll echo, you're experiencing all that you're experiencing as it's due to divine appointment. You volunteered for this. Believe it or not, I don't care about your spiritual beliefs, afterlife, whatever it may be. You just know that you logged on at this time for a particular reason. And if your educated mind can effort to find it and you can tap into that, your life will be forever changed, because it doesn't matter what obstacle or the what may be in front of you. You have the why and the how to figure it out, baby. And before we go into Q&A, I just want to summarize once more these zones of uncomfortability as I do a whole hour workshop on this. Zone number one, well, I guess zone zero, that's home. That's safe. You're here. You're present. You can use your breath to bring you home. Get your needs met. You're safe. Step number one is 10% outside your comfort zone. And you got to define that for yourself, people. I can't define that for you. My 10% is different from your 10%. It's literally, that's how it's supposed to be. Because once more, you're processing things. You're only able to look at me because your nervous system is working beautifully, and your eyes, without you telling it consciously, are working beautifully and giving this information back to the brain and all these things. But if you can leverage your recording device to continue to expand and grow and be from this stress state into this relaxed state, and focus on your nervous system optimization via chiropractic breathwork techniques, meditation, good food, good clean water, getting into the sun, getting vitamin D, all these that I'm sure plenty of people are going to speak on throughout the next few days. If you can cultivate home, you'll be able to traverse further, but it's ebb and flow. Zone number two, that's when something's painful or it's traumatic. It's outside of 10%. It's a lot. Zone number three, that's when you want to numb or you just want to run away from something. That's in that outer kind of rim, if you will. And it's just so extreme and it's so intense. Your heart's broken and it feels like it's way too much. And then there's disassociation, which is the last one. This scale, if you will, is the intensity of stimulus that can shift you and you in your life. But regardless of wherever you might have been or wherever you plan to go, because I want you to be able to ping yourself, each and every single day and come back and draw the lessons as one of my offerings for you, along with LTFI, is this question at the end of the day. What did I learn today? You are your greatest teacher, and you're the only person that is observing everything from the moment you wake up. Even when you're sleeping, you can take notes from. But from the moment where you wake up to the moment you go to bed, only you have seen everything that you've seen. So by nature, you are your greatest teacher. And for the lesson of the day, you can apply it in any of the 8 domains of life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, professional, relationship wise, and fun and adventure. And even if you grow 1% in all those, that's 8%. That's one day. No mathematician, 8 times 365. I think that's somewhere around like 25 or 2600% in a year. Sounds pretty juicy to me, and a life worth living. Cultivate your why, and know that at the end of the day, the main relationship that you need to heal, that you need to effort one thing that in the work that I do, it's permission-based work, it's authentic work, it's raw work, it's human work, it's beautiful work. I love it. It's cultivating the relationship you have for all of your life. And if you haven't figured out, it's this one. You gotta cultivate trust with this one, your mind and your body. Because if you can embody trust with yourself and operate out of natural laws and principles that chiropractors, that acupuncturists, that massage therapists, that naturopaths, that all these different types and realms of human beings, and there's other medical doctors that subscribe to a holistic or a more vitalistic way of being. There's principles there that are meant to guide us on what it means to be a good human being. And one of them is leaning in and feeling, because the systems that are out there don't want you to feel. So that way you are dependent upon them versus interdependent with each other. And that's the nature of our biology. That's the nature of our species. We're only able to be here right now because we've been able to lean on each other. So in the midst of this in this pandemic, I'm so grateful for Andy. Just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to be able to connect to your people, because there's a lot of people that are they're on an island right now. And things like this, seminars like this, friends like this, people like this, community like this, it's going to allow you to have reflections of yourself that you may not have been able to see. And the dope thing is you can share lessons with each other. Like, it's so good. So lean in, cultivate your why, build your community, reflect what was your lesson of the day, build the trust and embodiment with yourself, have gratitude in some way, shape, or form. If you're getting just things are stomping you in the face, I challenge you to ask you, man, how can you have gratitude in this moment? Man, I got a face to be stomped in. Okay, I believe that was about 20 minutes. I want to be sure to honor the space and open things up for Q&A.
Dr. Früster, that was phenomenal. My man, again, a huge thank you. I got to say, I love your passion and I love your energy and I love your approach. Honestly, I can feel you all the way over here in Australia, and it's really, really phenomenal. Amen, my man. Look, you touched on some incredible points, and some of the things that have really concerned me over the last 2 years have been the mental and emotional effects. Now, we have seen large spikes in anxiety, in depression, in self-harm over here in Australia. I'm not sure what it's been like in the US, but I have heard that, again, depression medication, etc., has gone through the roof. And for me, I guess again, asking good questions. What is the impact for the future? What impact is this going to have not only on us, but then on the kids and the teenagers that have gone through this? Some children, as everybody knows, have spent either their whole lives or half their lives in lockdown, which is
Right.
absolutely
Oh my
mind-blowing.
God, that's crazy.
Isn't it? Isn't it just insane? So I want to ask you this question. Someone who understands trauma, and I have so much respect for you coming back from, multiple traumas, in your past and even going through this, my man. So again, you are a warrior. And for someone who truly understands it on many different levels and understands how to manage stress, I know you did cover a lot of really good points with breathing and things like that, but just a really simple summary. What are 3 things our listeners and our audience can do over the next couple of days in order to really center themselves and calm themselves when they hit those moments of anxiety? Because I know a lot of people right now are out of work. Their businesses have folded. They are facing huge challenges and issues globally. What can we do in that moment instantly in order to center ourselves and calm ourselves and bring ourselves back?
Mm. I feel like first thing you need to do, you don't need to do shit, but you can give yourself permission to feel. Because even if like that anxiety, you might be at that breaking point or whatever it may be, I'll reflect. You didn't just go from 0 to all that to your breaking point. It was a accumulation of things. So the more you can let this expression out, whatever it may be, but you gotta feel it, baby, because without diving into it, there's human design, which I'll just offer that. Feel free to type that down. Human design, look that up. If you have any questions, hit me up later on, because that gives you a certain dynamic in how you can express yourself to extract the knowledge and wisdom. So give yourself permission to feel. And if you just need to take space from people, whatever it may be, you need to go scream, go yell, cry. Like, so many of us don't cry. Even with my family, we may have different opinions on things, and they might be operating out of a media influenced narrative. But it's like, man, I haven't seen. It's like with one of my uncles. It's like, uncle, I have never seen you cry. So if you can allow yourself vulnerable and permission to feel radically in all of that what you're feeling, and then take it to the next level, you will gain massive insights from that. Number 2, you gotta find a community, even if it's just one person that you can bare your soul to. It has to be somebody, Andy. It has to be somebody, and it doesn't need to be the same person all the time. It can be dynamic, and shoot, I even want to say it can even be a furry friend. If at the end of the day you don't got no one, go express something to a squirrel to get it out of there, because life recognizes life. And that person doesn't need to say anything. They don't need to do anything. There's nothing to fix. But if you can let this stress out of you, your body will literally begin to reorganize and you can, okay. So as you, versus just like storing all that in you, baby, you keep storing all this emotion in these different places and spaces in your body. If you're not expressing something outwardly, guess where it's being stored inwardly. So express, give yourself full permission to do so. And number two, you got to find a community. Number three, get adjusted, brother.
Mm.
But I only offer that because it's such an efficient means and way of things. And if that's not available to you, you gotta move this body. Go for a walk.
Mm.
20-30 minutes, that will reduce cortisol levels, that will help de-stress the body. Focus on nature. Look at a tree. Like I got this tree right outside my window. I got mountains out here in Tucson, so I'm highly blessed. But if you can just get outside in some way, shape, or form, as we are an extension of nature, and you can go re-experience some form of nature, I imagine your body's going to shift from this just cataclysmic state of stress to at least a little bit more this way.
So true, my man. Because again, us conquering any issues or facing challenge and adversity really starts in here, in ourselves. And I think, if this is trying to light on anything, it is potentially the fact that we all need to evolve a little bit more. We all need to grow inside a little bit more. We all need to get stronger internally a little bit more, because if we can stay strong when we face things like the last 2 years, we can overcome anything. But it does. It starts in here and it starts in here. And in those moments where you hit those stress points, you need to be able to calm yourself down. I also love your point, Dr. Fruster, where you mentioned unity and finding your tribe, because again, lockdowns and segregation and all these things that are taking place across and the two-tiered societies, and there's a lot happening. But what this can create is that sense that you're alone, because if we believe it's wrong and you think because of the media and other formats that you are the only one thinking this, it is going to lead you down a path of feeling less than, of not worthy, of staying silent, and that's what we have to overcome.
Yeah, and it's because in as brief as I can make it, it's okay to be independent, but that can have a energy or a tone of survivability, while interdependence between like depending, that's more thrivability. They want to fool you so you're the only one, you're alone, you don't have any support. That's all going to push people once more into this stress state. But if you can relax and you're like, man, I got my man over there in Australia, I got Dr. Stanton over here in San Diego, I got Dr. Ben Tapper over here in Nebraska. It's like I got an army that I can tap into. And they're my mentors already because they're leading the charge for me. So that way I can lead the charge for people that are watching my back, whether they be in school, whether they're my brothers, whether they're younger chiropractors. There's eyes on us all. And I love how you echoed it all starts here. And that's why I say your comfort zone, it starts in your brain and your spinal cord, and it goes with you wherever you go. So it's up to you, because as much as you can train 10% outside your comfort zone, it's all a cumulative practice for you to apply however you want.
I love that, my man. Dr. Früster, I want to ask you, where can we find you, my friend? Please give a shout out. Where can our listeners and our viewers find where you're at and what you're doing, all the good things you're doing in the world?
All right, yeah. So please hit me up on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook at all. That's just no good. And it's just Doctor. I'll do what Dr. Ben Tapper did. It's just Dr. Jamal Früster at, or excuse me, it's just Dr. Jamal Früster here. I'm just pulling this up. Here we go. Somewhere right there. There we go. It's up top. Yep, there we go. Dr. Jamal Früster. I got a podcast. It's called Soul Coffee. Have good conversations with some of the most amazing individuals I've ever been able to meet. So follow me on Instagram, Soul Coffee. Send me a DM, please. Oh yeah, nice. Look at that. That's awesome. And then I'm also part of Health Freedom Academy, which is a 6-week course that a culmination of different individuals partnering with Health Freedom for Humanity with Alex Zek have been teaching various workshops on. So look that up. And the last one for anyone here in Arizona, the United States, myself and Dr. Brett Jones are speaking at Conscious Initiatives, which is going to be in Phoenix, December 4th and 5th. We'd love to connect any of my people out there, as well as, once more, it's all about building community.
I love that, my man. I want to say a big thank you all the way from Australia, and you are all the way from the US of A. There's people from all over the world going to be watching this right now, and I want to say a huge thank you. Keep shining, my friend. Keep spreading that inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you for everything, and crush it, brother. Thank you so much for all that you be, bro.
Thank you, my man.
You got it.